A few years ago, we made a video explaining how to remove and replace the batteries in an RV. We showed the importance of taking a photograph of the battery bank, creating a diagram of the layout, tagging and numbering every cable on every terminal, and turning off every possible source of power. Of course, we also showed how to put the tangle of cables back together again, successfully reassembling a new battery bank. We recently told you about an exciting electrical system upgrade we'll be doing on our RV, which includes a lithium iron phosphate house battery and AGM chassis batteries. We also mentioned that while our battery compartment is large enough for the project, the battery tray needs to be a little wider. Today, we'll start the entire project with the very first step, widening our battery tray. Of course, that means we'll have to remove the batteries first, so here we go. Since we already covered the step-by-step instructions for replacing RV batteries, we won't go into too much detail about that again today, but we'll include a link to that video down below in the description so you can watch it if you'd like. We're going to have our batteries out for a couple of days this time, so we're plugging our residential refrigerator directly into the campsite's power pedestal until everything is back in place. We'll start by creating a diagram of both banks. 2 12-volt lead-acid chassis batteries on the left, and 4 6-volt AGM house batteries on the right. We'll then tag every single cable on the entire bank, marking each end of the cable with the corresponding battery number and polarity from our diagram. You can see we even got fancy this time. We used a red marker for the positive tags and a black marker for the negative ones. Then we snapped a few photos of the layout and removed all of the cables, continuing to follow the steps outlined in our original video. Once the cables were disconnected, we took off the straps, then lifted all 6 batteries out of the tray and set them aside. To remove the tray itself, we unbolted the upper rollers that hold it into the frame. That allows us to slide it completely out. Then we need to reach in and remove the 4 bolts that hold the frame into the RV. The 2 in the back are a little hard to get to, requiring us to drop the fuel filter cover to reach them. Now all that's left are the cables hanging down. Since we need all the extra width we can get, we'll be cutting off the left side wall, allowing us to expand the compartment further to the left into this currently unused space. We'll be doing that with a Dremel, which may not be the optimal tool for this, but it's what we have available, and it got the job done just fine. When we're finished cutting, the entire left side is completely gone, allowing us to see right into the engine compartment. Don't worry, we have a custom-made replacement all lined up. To get things ready for the new components, we're going to thoroughly clean and paint the entire battery compartment. This is the first time in 13 years this metal has been exposed, and we're going to take advantage of the opportunity to really clean it up. A nice coat of black Rust-Oleum primer, followed by a flat black Rust-Oleum top coat, makes everything look like new. We're even polishing all of the cable ends to better than new condition for the best possible connections. Since we'll need a professional to enlarge the tray, we're taking it for a ride. To DNA Custom Metal Fabrication in Mission, BC. They typically create far more complex and beautiful work than our little project, so we knew we were in highly overqualified hands. There's nothing wrong with that, since we knew that Andrey, the owner, could do a great job for us. When we got there, he'd already completed the new wall section to expand the left side of the compartment that we'd cut out. So all that was left was to cut and expand the tray. Andrey starts with the frame. He welds the sections of new steel into place. Then it's time to cut the tray itself. Then Andrey tack welds the new section in place and places it into the frame to check for correct sizing. After he finishes the main welding, he cuts and prepares smaller pieces to complete the assembly. Andrey's attention to detail will not only make the tray stronger, but it will be hard to tell it was modified. Here's the final piece, perfectly fit together, exactly 6.5 inches wider than it was when we arrived this morning. Along with the new left side section of the battery compartment, Andrey has us all set to go back to the RV. The first thing we do is test fit the new compartment section and use our Dremel tool to replicate the opening for the left side rail. We also had to clip off a small corner to get the section to pivot into place. It fits perfectly, so we're ready to prime and paint it. Then we use our pop rivet gun to secure the section in place. We even used a spare piece of sheet metal to seal the old opening for the left side rail. Now it's time to prime and paint both the tray and the frame. We also added a final coat of paint to the interior of the battery compartment. While the paint's drying, John goes to town cleaning and lubricating all the rollers so that the tray will glide in and out like new. After reinstalling the lower rollers, the frame goes back into the compartment for a test fit. Of course, we, and Andrey, measured everything carefully so it fits like a glove. After bolting it back in place, we install the tray. Reinstalling the two upper rollers holds the entire thing in place. That is a thing of beauty. All set to handle our new battery bank. But we're not ready to install the new lithium battery just yet. So we'll be reassembling everything by temporarily using our old house batteries. But we do have our new chassis batteries ready to go. Rather than using traditional lead-acid start batteries, we're going to install a brand new set of Fullriver AGMs. One reason we wanted AGMs is to avoid outgassing here in the compartment with our new lithium house battery. If you don't hear much about using AGM batteries for starting the engine, it might be because most of them don't have the power needed to start a big diesel pusher. Cummins specifies using 2, putting out at least 950 cold cranking amps each to start our 400 horsepower engine. So we chose a pair of Fullriver Full Throttle Series high-capacity AGMs. They're not only the exact same size as standard Group 31 truck batteries, which is what we had before, but put out a whopping 1100 cold cranking amps. We've obviously got our old AGM house batteries in place for now, as we're still a couple of weeks away from the lithium installation at Xantrex. But now we're all set with the extra space we need to get the project completed. Stay tuned for Part 3, where we'll continue sharing our battery and electrical upgrade. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications. If you'd like to support the production of these videos, get access to special premium content, and even get your name in the credits, hop on over to patreon.com/RVgeeks to find out how you can play a part in helping us make more content for our fellow RVers. A special thanks to everyone who's already done that. As always, safe travels, and thanks for watching.